Hello Taurus, this is Angel Eyes 7 Tarot with your mid-month October reading for 2017. This is a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And a couple of things, all my contact information and social media links will be in the description below. Please follow me out on all of those. And I also have, I've also joined the app Instantgo, where you can ask me questions and I can do one card readings within 24 hours and for a low fee on that. So it's the quickest way to get a quick answer. Also, what else was I going to say? I had 2 cards pop out for you already while I was shuffling. This month I'm going to be using for the mid-month the Ghost Tarot in honor of Halloween. They're a little different in their meanings, but basically the same. So let's get into your reading. Okay, so you have for your first 4 cards, you have the 3 of Pentacles, Death, the 9 of Chalices, which are cups, and the Knave or Page of Cups. And with the 3 of Pentacles, you have underneath that the 7 of Cups. So with the 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles is a card of putting your heart and soul into something that you want to accomplish or a project that you're working on. Nothing really grows unless you put your best into it. And then you have the 7 of Chalices, which in this deck, it's a card of kind of like the light is always showing on like external choices. Like it's not all what we feel on the inside. You have to shine light on things that you see from external influences as well. It's also the card traditionally of, so you can see that. That's the 7 of Chalices and the 3 of Pentacles. And so the 7 of Cups again, or the Chalices, is the idea of kind of having so many choices or overthinking things or being like disillusioned or whatever you're looking at, could be an illusion where you're not sure, like your mind's a little foggy. In the last 2 weeks of this month, you guys might be a little foggy about how you can get something accomplished that is important to you. And then you have, next to these 2, you have Death. And underneath that, you have the 2 of Pentacles, which in this deck, it's a card of spontaneity, but ultimately, the Death card is a card of change, transition. Yes, endings happen when things change, but when things change, it gets a little tough sometimes to accept change. Not many people enjoy like things changing on them. Like some people are, get comfortable with routine and the way things are, and so it can be a little stressful, the Death card coming up, And then with the Two of Pentacles, something might have changed because of a decision that you guys made. And most of the time I look at the Two of Pentacles as a card of kind of having to make a decision without all the information. Like, this guy's like, usually he's standing on a, like, balancing on a rock, like, way, like, trying to hold on to these Two Pentacles. And he's not very, like, firm in his stance. So for some of you guys, you might have had to make a decision this month, or will, that changes things and it kind of gets uncomfortable. All right, and then you have the Nine of Chalices with the Two of Wands. And the Nine of Chalices is a card, usually it's the Wish card, the Nine of Cups. This one is more the idea of kindness. And it can also be the situation where, because usually it's depicted as a man dressed in his finest clothes, and then all of his, golden cups are on display behind him. Like, he has everything he could want except for that one thing, which is love, like emotional fulfillment. Because that's the next is the 10, which is, emotional fulfillment. But then you also have the Two of Wands, which is right next to the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Wands is making the decision. Like, in this deck, here's the Two of Wands. He's looking at a globe of the world. And I'll show you the Nine of Cups too. The Two of Wands in this deck is like, you can have like the best laid plans, but the world is always changing. And usually the Two of Wands is it's the two where you make decisions. You make the best decisions on what you know in order to ensure a firm foundation for the future. But in this deck, it's depicted as the world is always changing. It's always turning. You can have the best laid plans, but ultimately, like, your intentions are what are really going to come through. So you have that with the Nine of Cups. And I think from this change with the Death card and the Two of Pentacles, you get to a realization where you don't want to have to go through that kind of situation anymore, where you're like having to make spontaneous decisions, and then they end up then you end up in situations that you're uncomfortable with, like that are changing, like ending, things like that. Because the Death card can be an uncomfortable transition. You've got to go with the flow and get through it. And then your last two cards are the Knave of Cups, which is the Page of Chalices. Knave of Chalices, Page of Cups, and the Hermit. If you can see that. Okay. So the Knave of Chalices is love. It said something very particular about that in the book. Let me read it to you. It said that it's the spirit of the dreamer. Emotions take shape within the heart. And then the Hermit is the silent ghost. The best guide does not judge. He does not use words, but rather indicates the road by setting an example. He is patient and waits for the other to eventually walk along the same path. No matter how many stars sparkle in the sky, each of them can still add its own light to that of the firmament. So I feel like you guys, Taurus, there's something you want, and you're kind of like on a bumpy road with it. But by the end of the month, you're at a point where you're going to actually, like, sometimes, like, we want to progress, we want to do something we love, like, we want to follow our dreams, but what are our dreams? Like, what do we really, truly want to do? What is in our heart? Like, what is our passion? You can do anything, but if your heart or passions are not in it, you won't be successful. And I feel like with this 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups, like, that's what's going on. You want to do something that, your heart is into, but you don't know what your heart is into. And so you keep, like, trying things that you think will work or go somewhere, but then they're not. And then you get stuck in a situation where, it's just not happening, and you have other things, then you have, like, new problems to solve. All right? And you've been trying to make, trying to really think hard and plan, but you know that things change. You know that it's not, you have to really, really get into you and figure this out. And I like that this Knave of Chalices is the spirit of the dreamer, because it's, for you guys in this reading, it's, to be successful in life, like, materially, you have to do what you love and love what you do. And you have to really, like, I think you guys end up really taking the time to decide, like, what that is in the last 2 weeks of this month. So good for you guys, Taurus. That's always good. It's always like the Hermit, the space you get with the Hermit is always good, because it really gets down to, like, just you. Like, what is it? Like, it's a time of solitude to really, like, get to the heart of you and figure out what you want, what you're passionate about, what you love, So I think you guys will get there this month. And, whenever you come out of that Hermit energy, you're always feeling, better about things. And the Hermit is number 9, which is an ending. Like, the 10s are new beginnings, they reduce to 1. And the 10 of the major arcana is the Wheel of Fortune, which is divine timing. And everything happens in divine timing. Like, that's the Faith card, that's the what goes up must come down card, things like that. So I think you guys will have a productive 2 weeks, and you're gonna get there. All right, Taurus? So that was your mid-month for October with the Ghost Tarot. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon.